Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to FOSA Spotlight, where you're in the right place. If you want to be inspired to be empowered, I am your host, Crystal Boyd. What a pleasure it is to be here each and every time. You're never not going to get enthusiasm from me because I love this so much. I do. So, without any hesitation, we'll jump into today's topic. Stay focused. I'm not sure about you, but I know a lot can be going on in life, and you may feel as though you're being pulled in many directions. I can speak for myself on that one. It can feel like it. Like so many things that you want to do, so many goals, dreams, visions, plans. And boy, oh boy, it just makes it hard to just stay focused sometimes. Not to mention, you may have other concerns. It could be some trouble within the family, trouble in relationships. It could be trouble at work. And, it just robs you of your ability to stay focused. So I thought it was good to go over a reminder and some things to just keep in mind to stay focused. Because things come to distract you, but we're not giving in to that for several reasons. So we're just going to dive right on in and get everything that we can about this. I believe it's important to set limits on everything. And I'd be the first to say negative thinking. When you notice your mind going in the wrong direction, hey, cut it off. Boy, I don't think I'm deserving of this. Boy, I don't think I can make it. Or I'm not really good at this. Don't even give that thought. I am good at this. And if I'm not, I'm going to get better. Okay? There's no such thing as leaving this in a bad place, because it is very, very important that you remain positive, optimistic. You have to have that time with the Lord, pray about it, build your faith back up, remind you of who you are. Because negative thinking, it just has to cease. And one of the best ways of doing that is recalling a time that you probably thought that you couldn't do something, and oh my goodness, you pulled it off. Yeah. And knowing that more than likely you're not going to be called for something that you're not prepared for. So know and feel that you can do what it is that needs to be done. So definitely limits on, matter of fact, that's not even limit. Let's just take away negative thinking within itself. We're not going to give it any room. And one time when I got really, really, really focused and I was just tired of my life at a certain level, I cut things out. And one of those things was TV. Oh my goodness. I'm still not a big TV watcher to this day, because when I was going through this, I just wanted a change in my life so much. I almost went to attacking everything that I thought was like a drainer, whether it was hanging too much time socializing, things like that. Like I really, really went in, but I went extreme. Like on my TV, I put a Post-it, and I had to be like, I think it was like 24. No, I was younger than that. I'd say about 23. And I was tired of me. I was like, yeah. And I knew that I had it in me. I'm like, hey, you don't have a bachelor's degree, but you do have an associate's. And by golly, you should be using it. And there should be someone that's hiring you. And if you have time to watch TV, you have time to apply for some type of application. And back then, it wasn't just as popular to do things on the internet. Like, it was still okay, but a lot of these jobs and things like that, you still went in, did your application, gave them your resume, all of that. So it's something strict that you can do. Limit yourself on social media, or maybe perhaps take a break from it anyway. You'll be surprised how much the time that you're utilizing on that can be geared towards something else that you want to do. Maybe a new career move. Sacrifice that 30 minutes that you're spending a day. Okay? Put that into doing your resume, sending a resume, an application. more income is always good. There's an opportunity out there that's just for you, especially if you feel like you're not where you need to be. But now that I got your mind thinking in that direction, make sure that you put some limitations around. Even perhaps socializing. I can juice this all the way. I touched on it earlier, but I didn't touch on it as much because I love hanging with friends and family. Oh my gosh, like I just love the time. But as much as I love them, I know what God's put in my heart and purpose and things that I have to do. So I know I don't want to let God down in that respect. So I want to fulfill these things. And I also like to spend time with the family balance because guess what? It'll all come full circle. But these things come with a little bit of a sacrifice. In fact, when I was going to graduate school, that whole year, I knew I would probably not have a life, like much of a social one. In fact, that was one of the only times when I was living in Houston that I didn't go to Arkansas for Thanksgiving. And boy, I wanted to go. I really, really did. But I had to place limits on what I could do because I knew I would be tired. If I'm tired, then I can't really concentrate when it comes to take these these weren't midterms, they were finals. So it's just thinking about these things and seeing the bigger picture and knowing that you just have to do a little bit of sacrificing sometime to get ahead. And I go on to say about planning. Another way to stay focused is planning. What do you have planned in mind? Because a plan always keeps you on course. Love it. Several reasons to. You have to pay attention to your plans. Write them down. Maybe it's micro plans. Maybe they're big plans. I know for me, like I had to consider my work, my hobbies, my business, my family, and looking at that whole thing. Even a calendar is planning certain days that you're going to do things and block them out. You'd be surprised because those days get to running together. So if you have a time to just plan, that means less thinking on your feet. And yeah, you leave some room to go with the flow. But honestly, I don't think there has been a bad thing come from planning. And if anything, sometimes winging it is not the best thing. I think winging it can be okay. But oh my goodness, just think of the plans. It's a beautiful thing. So don't forsake that. It helps you stay on course. And then we can consider sacrificing. And boy, oh boy. I think everybody that has accomplished something great, I'm pretty much certain that they sacrifice something greatly. It just doesn't come with it. How are you going to do something great? How are you going to do something amazing and not have any sacrifice behind it? It just doesn't match. So whatever's required of you, whatever that's coming up, stay focused on that and just know that you just have to sacrifice somewhere. And there could be a hesitation in fulfilling your goal. It's because you're not willing to make some sacrifices, some changes, maybe little changes about ourselves that, could be a hindrance. Are you a procrastinator? Okay, make a plan to not procrastinate. All right? Beautiful thing. I'm just throwing stuff out there. I've dealt with it too. But gosh, sometimes I'm not a consistent procrastinator. Thank God for that, right? I'm so happy I'm not a consistent procrastinator. Yeah, and I think when you discuss sacrifice, it's just a number of things that come to me. Like in order to sacrifice something, you have to be disciplined. You have to be self-controlled. You have to just know how to work through things. And I know this is a subtopic with topic, but I just don't see sacrifice. In order to sacrifice, it has to be a discipline, has to be a self-control aspect there. And in fact, I did a fast not long ago where I wanted to make sure that I could increase my ability to be self-controlled and disciplined and see things through. And that's one of the, if you're not a person that fasts, I would suggest starting to, and maybe start small. Start with something that you do every day or often, and just give it up. And if it's too much to think about a week, scale it back to where your comfort level is. Well, not necessarily comfort level, but what you feel like you can accomplish, what you can really complete, what you can really do. And so for me, before I started doing, and this was a 3-week fast, it was almost 3 weeks, 20 days. And so before I started that, what I did is I would fast weekly. Like I would get a day out of the week and I fast. Normally that's Sunday for me. I just feel like, that's a good day to stay away from social media, make sure I don't have any wine, you know what I mean? That's all those type of things. Just so like I have a day of just purity and just rest, just solitude. And that itself kind of built me to go extended times without food or different food like green juice and tea and stuff like that. And that's a good idea because what you're doing is you're making sure that your body is not being ruled by your flesh. And I don't know how big you guys are on discussing these in depth, but our flesh wants what it wants. Like when it wants ice cream, boy, it wants ice cream. And I don't believe in that. I'm like, you know what? We're not going to have ice cream right now. We'll wait. So do what you can to make sure that you can sacrifice the things that you need to stay focused and stay, because the only way you're going to achieve your goal, your purpose, is that you stay focused. So that's my call to action. Place some limits on some things. Make sure that you're willing to sacrifice and make some plans and follow them through. Stick to it. It can be the hardest thing. Oh my gosh. But it pays off in the end. Those things that are easy to accomplish, gosh. It just doesn't come with great satisfaction and reward. But I'm pretty sure your purpose or your plan is going to push you a little bit past what you're used to. And I'm here to remind you that you got everything that you need to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish. So it's been an honor and a pleasure, privilege, and everything else good to be able to share these things with you on this micro episode. I hope you've been inspired and empowered in the same episode. If you haven't already, be sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment. Oh my gosh, I just had an audience member reach out to me about a topic. And I say audience member. Well, they are, but they happen to be my cousin too. Shout out cousin. Cousin Tommy. I love him. So, but here's the thing. Come with more suggestions. You guys, I love hearing topics that, you feel like you want to hear about. I'm all for it. Also, go on to our website, www.fosa.company. Check out our podcast. You can get the link to Spotify there, or you can go directly and look us up. We're on YouTube. Check out the apparel on the fosa.company website. You'll be glad that you did. And we have accessories too. Until next time. Catch you guys later.